Yeah, hi everyone. Today I will be talking about an SPFX web part, from where we can test some PNP.js SharePoint methods. This web part is developed by me along with Kun Sangani. So before starting, little bit about myself. I'm Siddharth Vagasia. I'm a technical consultant, and these are some of the social handlers through which you can connect with me. I would also like to extend my thanks to Kunj, who collaborated with me on this particular sample web part and helped me develop this web part. These are some of the social handlers. I'm sure he would be on this call if you would like to connect with him. So this is the repo link to the dev web parts where the sample is there. So driving factor, like as we know, there is an heavy usage of SPFX to customize our SharePoint based and now team based solutions also. And among this customization which we do, we know that we all SPFX developer kind of use PNP.js every now and then rather than calling the native REST APIs around SharePoint and Graph also, right? So during the development, what I have found is, there were times where we wanted to know what all attributes or properties are getting returned in the response, right? And typically what we do is we either use console.log or either we debug the JavaScript, we write some line of code and see what all attributes are giving, what names are there, like internal names of the columns and everything. And then maybe we go back to our code and change something, right? And so this was the one of the most driving factor, wherein I wanted to build something which from which I can quickly test the PNP.js method and see what output or what response it is giving us, right? So there are other tools also which are available, which I have found when I posted something on the Twitter regarding this web part, which help us doing so. But this can comes in handy at times, and I personally do use this for to test the PNP.js methods. Coming to the summary, so this is basically an utility web part, right? So this is not something which we would be using for the end user or which we would be giving to the end user, right? And it allows us to test the PNP.js methods, and the response which we get will be displayed in a beautiful JSON viewer format. And by default, this web part would run in the context of the current site collection, but we do have option wherein we can specify if we wanted to run the PNP.js method in a different site collection context or a different sub-site context, right? It also has support for get and post methods, and there are some of the examples which we have kept in the web parts itself so that we get used to on how to use this web part, right? One thing I wanted to note here is that as of now, this web part only supports or maybe we have tested only with the SharePoint method. So it means that only the PNP.js methods from the SharePoint package can be tested here, but we are planning to extend it to the Graph and the other packages also, right? So coming to the demo, so this is my demo. I mean, Workbench where I have run this demo, and this is how the UI looks like. Ideally, I started with a different look and feel, and then I went back to Twitter for a feedback. And thanks to Alex, he pointed out that it might be really helpful if we develop the user interface which looks like the Graph API Explorer. And that's when Kunj came and extended his help and converted this kind of web part into the new user interface, right? So now this is the web part, okay, and there is a option to either select the get and post method, okay, and this is the text box where we can put the command. And now, like typically, let me go back, and what we do is if we wanted to try some of the PNP.js code, right, we use the PNP.js documentation. And like for example, if I wanted to see, I wanted to get the title of the current web which I'm running. So what we do, we write this similar kind of code. But if I wanted to know what is the title, or if I wanted to know what response it is going to give me in which format, what I can do is I can go and copy paste things here, and I can just run the query, and it will give me the output of the JSON, and that output will be displayed in the JSON viewer here, right? So similar way, the other examples which I can think of would be typically to get the maybe current user data. So if you click on the samples, there is some of the samples which we have included, which we can directly use by just customizing some of the columns or the list name on which we wanted to run. So like for example, if I wanted to test this particular method to get the current user using PNP.js method, If I run the query, it will give me the response which I have written. And in fact, there we can see, what all attributes or what all properties are being written by this particular the method. Similar way, just another example like getting the item from the SharePoint list. Okay, so this is most typical use case we use during this. So I do have a list which is created. So I'll just modify the list name in the command. And if I put a run query on it, what I get is I get the output and it is getting displayed. So basically the output is from this particular list which has 2 items, and whatever response we are getting, that is getting displayed here. And this can be then used to check the column names and the values which we are getting or what all properties we are getting. So it's more like an go-to web part which we can deploy it at one place and try that out and then just go and write our SPFX code, right? So another thing is we can also try post thing. Like for example, if I'll just put a simple example here, like which is to add a list item into a particular SharePoint list. So if I talk about this timeline list, right? And if I put an item here, so what I do is I just change the name of the list, and this is the simplest JSON object which we can pass because we know the title column would be always there. And if I run this query, it will give me error because it's not a get function. So I'll put a post, and if I run the query, the post method would be triggered. And if I go and refresh the page here, you can see that the items are there. So maybe this was the item which I created previously, right? So this is how we can test the methods. So any method which is there in the PNP SP methods can be tested here. Other thing which I wanted to highlight is like what if we wanted to run it into a different site collection context, right? So for that there is an option where we can just say, use for other site collection or subsite. And to demonstrate this, I have a different site collection here. So what I do is I just put the URL of that particular site collection. And for example, if I just wanted to get the items from this particular demo list, which is there, which is available in this site collection. So I just change the name to demo list. And if I run the query, okay, so this would be a get method. If I run the query, I get the output from that particular method. And there are other options like if I wanted to show the data types or not. If I say yes, it will tell us, what kind of data type it is giving. I can also select the count. So basically these are the 25 items are basically the property count for each object which we have. There are total 5 items there. I can also enable clipboard wherein we can just copy the output of that particular attributes or property which we have. And there is an option to expand and collapse everything. So this is about the demo, and just to get used to this web part, okay, I have just all provided the link to PNP.js so that it takes us to the whatever methods which are supported into PNP.js here. Now coming to the code, what we have is this is a React-based SPFX web part, right? And so from the webpart.ts file, there's nothing fancy. We are just passing the context of the web part to the React component. And within React component, first let me go to the render method. So we are using Office UI Fabric to build the user interface which we have, like the drop down and text field and checkboxes and everything. So this is pretty much what we generally use to develop a SPFX web part. So I won't go into detail of this. And it is using states and everything to control what all methods, what all input user is providing and what all output we wanted to put it into the user. Right. Then another thing is the main method is the execute command, right? So this is the method which gets called when we click on the run query button, right? And the first thing we do is we set the PNP method. So within the set PNP method, what we have is if the option is selected for other site collection URL, right? So we all know that with PNP.js, what we can do is we can set up the PNP either to a particular SharePoint site or a subsite, or we can directly provide the context which we have from the web part, right? So this is just basically to set up the PNP.js. So if the other site is selected, it will go and put the site context to that particular site URL using the base URL property. And if not, it will run in the current context site where the web part has been deployed or where it is running. Then other thing is this is just to clear the state objects, okay? And to display the JSON which we get, I'm using an npm package React JSON view, which requires just an JSON object as an input, and it will automatically take care of displaying it in the expand collapse way, which we have seen already. So these are some of the cleanup strings which I need to do, is because thing is what happens is there are some methods where we wanted to use get, where we don't wanted to put get and everything. So to make it consistent and everything, I typically tested some of the methods and try to find out what all commands are available in the PNP.js documentation, and then used the custom logic to replace the string which is provided by the user, and then to control while running this particular command. Okay. Now, interesting thing here is how do I run this command dynamically, right? So I'm not sure, but there is, I mean, who all know, but there is a command JavaScript method which says eval, which basically allows us to evaluate a JavaScript code and execute it. So this is interesting, and this is how I am running the PNP.js method dynamically onto that particular web part, right? So once I have the command, I'm just building a dynamic JavaScript code using try-catch method, wherein typically if you see this will turns out to be, try sp.web. And then we are using then method, which is basically the promise. And once we get the promise, we get the result. And once we get the result, what we do is we put the result into the JSON response object, which is basically a state object, which takes care of rendering into that view format. And if there are some errors, also we are using that particular JSON response and putting it in as an error response. So if suppose there is an error, it will still go and display the error saying that, maybe the column doesn't exist, maybe the list doesn't exist. That would be displayed in the JSON, so we know that we are making some mistake while testing the command code, right? So this is important method, and this is the smallest function which you are using. So idea behind this web part is, the magic happens here, so like dynamically executing the PNP command which user is inputting. For the sample commands which we see on the right hand side panel, what we have done is we have created a sample.json file where we have put all the commands, and then we are just dynamically building the action button, okay, by using the map function, so that all the commands are executed, and once user clicks on any of the command, it automatically gets populated to the text web part, text box, right? So this is about the code, and another thing I wanted to highlight here is that we are using a older PNP version, which is 2.0.5, but this can be easily upgraded. The only thing we have to do is, because this is a simple SPFX web part, we have to just update the npm package to get the latest version of the PNP, and all the latest method and all the latest bug fixes which have been done in the latest package would be available. So this is about it. This is about the web part, and if any questions or anything, I would be looking at the chat window, and I'm sure Kunj might be already helping that. So that's it from my side. Thank you again for providing this opportunity to demonstrate this web part into this community call.
That was a great demo. That was really, really cool.